One of the reasons Michael Jordan is the GOAT, he got beat in the head. He kept, you know what, I'm going to get bigger, stronger. That, to me, is the way I would like to see it done. That's why I admire Dirk Nowitzki.
That's what Charles is saying he views it as. I would just say, absolutely, the team in Miami was stacked. And absolutely, he, Bosh, and Wade came together to stack him.
Oh, no shit, Sherlock.
The following free agencies, I'm not sure that's true. He came to Cleveland. They hadn't made the playoffs in 4 years. They did the Love trade. Kevin Love had no history of any success in the playoffs. If you want to call that a stacked team, I guess, but like from stacked says who?
I mean, we were a super team, and we were a team that was expected to go to the finals, expected to have the potential to win a championship.
I'm not going to do the Stepford Wife thing like all LeBron and his friends do, like these guys on television now. Like, I don't want to upset LeBron because I wanted him to talk to me and I wanted him to do interviews.
For the past week, the NBA media has been obsessed with one storyline: celebrating LeBron James all over again. This time, it's for joining what many are calling yet another loaded super team, now in Philadelphia. But here's where things get interesting. While nearly everyone rushed to praise the move, one familiar voice refused to follow the crowd. Charles Barkley once again pushed back. The surprising part? Even Barkley's criticism wasn't nearly as brutal as some fans expected. So why is one of LeBron's biggest critics holding back? And does that reveal something the rest of the media doesn't want to admit? That's where the story takes a very unexpected turn.
LeBron's always stacking his teams.
Yeah, that's been one of my critics. Well, most people criticize him for that. He always stacks his team.
But what's wrong with wanting to build a team that can win a championship or going to?
First of all, let's see. There you go. He didn't build a team.
Thank you.
He manufactured.
He built a team in Los Angeles. They were bad before he got there.
And his agency forced them to trade for Anthony Davis, who was ran by his group.
Let's stop right there. Even someone like Dan Patrick, who's usually viewed as a neutral voice, once again leaned toward the familiar LeBron James narrative. As many see it, he echoed the same Klutch Sports and mainstream media talking points. Meanwhile, Charles Barkley wasn't being dramatic or throwing out reckless hate. He simply pointed to what he believes really unfolded in Los Angeles involving LeBron James, Klutch Sports, and Anthony Davis. As Barkley essentially suggests, if the truth makes you uncomfortable, ignore him. But if you're willing to look beyond the fantasy, his version of events becomes much harder to dismiss.
But somehow when a player kind of takes in his own agency to do that for himself, then it becomes a character flaw. And I think that's the flaw overall in the argument. Like, this is a different time and an age where players feel as if they're bigger than the franchise.
Oh, that's not good.
And I think LeBron James is one of the rare few that, because of his agency and because of the power that comes along with being LeBron James, that he can pick and choose and kind of skew the rails in the direction he wants. And I don't think that's a character flaw. I think it's just the genius of LeBron being a GM and being the player that actually demands that type of control as the player he is, one of the greatest to ever do.
You have to say LeBron's the greatest ever, or like he not gonna talk to you and you're committing treason.
Now, let's stop there for a second. Jay Williams, widely considered one of ESPN's better analysts, has one recurring criticism. Many believe he's simply too close to star players, especially Kevin Durant and LeBron James. Back in 2016, Jay defended Durant's blockbuster move to the Golden State Warriors, even as many LeBron fans blasted it as blatant ring chasing. Yet when LeBron has built star-studded rosters at different stops, many of those same critics have been far more forgiving. That's the hypocrisy some point to. To Jay's credit, though he's at least consistent, he tends to defend both Durant and LeBron. The bigger issue, according to critics, is the player GM role. Durant reportedly had major influence over the Brooklyn Nets roster and coaching decisions before eventually requesting a trade. LeBron openly pushed for Russell Westbrook in Los Angeles, but when things unraveled, many argue accountability never followed. That's why Charles Barkley continues to push back, saying stars can't demand control over roster moves, stack the deck, chase rings, and then avoid the blame when everything falls apart.
Does Charles Barkley have a point?
Well, Charles very clearly was speaking as a Hall of Famer, top 75 player. He's talking about what his and his peers' viewpoints are.
All these guys want to join each other well and play with each other. No, I want to beat you. I want to beat you. LeBron, you say you the GOAT. Why you joining Bosh and, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't doing that in the 90s.
That's what Charles is saying he views it as. I would just say, absolutely the team in Miami was stacked. And absolutely he, Bosh, and Wade came together to stack him. The following free agencies, I'm not sure that's true. He came to Cleveland. They hadn't made the playoffs in 4 years. They did the Love trade. Kevin Love had no history of any success in the playoffs. If you want to call that a stacked team, I guess.
Now let's pause there. Brian Windhorst, much like Jay Williams, has long been viewed by critics as one of LeBron James' biggest defenders. To his credit, he openly admits LeBron's move to South Beach was about stacking the deck and chasing championships. But then comes the argument that sparks controversy, claiming Cleveland 2.0 wasn't a super team because the Cavaliers had gone from the bottom of the standings to the top. Critics call that incredibly misleading. Between 2011 and 2014, Cleveland had been rebuilding, and by the time LeBron returned in 2014, the roster had been dramatically reshaped. It wasn't simply LeBron joining the old Cavs. Kevin Love, one of the NBA's elite scorers, arrived, while major changes followed with J.R. Smith, Timofey Mozgov, and Iman Shumpert replacing players like Spencer Hawes, Jarrett Jack, Andrew Bynum, and eventually Dion Waiters, who was traded during his third season. With 5 of the top 8 rotation players changing from 2014 to 2015, critics argue Windhorst's portrayal leaves out crucial context and fuels accusations of a selective narrative.
In this situation, if he didn't go to Philly, where did Charles or the legends want him to go? Did they want him to go to the G League? Because if he went to Cleveland, is that team stacked? Is Miami with Bam Adebayo and Giannis Antetokounmpo, is that team stacked? Jokic and Jamal Murray, is that team stacked? Ant Edwards, Rudy Gobert? I don't know. He left Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. Is that not? I don't understand the premise of the of the complaint.
And that brings us to the biggest question of all. Was there any team LeBron James could have joined without facing massive criticism? Maybe. But according to this argument, Philadelphia was the one destination guaranteed to spark backlash. The 76ers were already loaded, with 3 top 10 scorers, one of the NBA's best rookies, and impressive depth, making any move there look like another attempt to build a super team. By comparison, Miami's roster wouldn't have been viewed as a championship-caliber super team. Cleveland may have looked like a big 3 on paper, but still carried serious playoff question marks. And Golden State wasn't considered a legitimate title threat heading into 2027. That's why critics argue Philadelphia was always going to attract the harshest scrutiny. Whether you agree or completely disagree, one thing is certain. LeBron James continues to dominate the NBA conversation like no one else. The debate isn't ending anytime soon, and neither is the controversy. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Hoop Lab, and turn on notifications so you never miss the biggest NBA stories, heated debates, and behind the headlines analysis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.